Test. Oops. Hello, everybody. My name is Mick, or Mr. Stormcrow, and welcome to the first ever, I would say, official episode of Game Center. If you don't know what it is, we're just a little sort of, well, we're a big show here because it's never been done before. And in turn, we're going to be doing some news, we're going to have some trivia, and we're going to also probably have some more segments as time goes on because, again, the show's developing, and I think that's pretty great. So we have a couple of cool things in terms of news. We'll be talking about sort of how all these games are delayed inevitably because of COVID. And we also have trivia at the end. But before we begin, I just want to say that we also have some podcasts coming out later. I think later, probably in a little bit in about next 2 weeks, probably. We have Anthony and Steven's podcasts that are coming out. Bad for America, which is Anthony's. And Steven is a little undetermined at the moment, but I'm sure it'll be a really badass podcast. So we got a lot of cool things coming up for you guys, and I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. And yeah, we'll just sort of get to it. But also, one thing I do want to talk about is we do have merch. So let me show you guys something really quick if I can. We got some cool merchandising here, as you can see from my green screen here. We got some cool COVID masks. So if you want to grab yourself one of those cool masks, because again, you want to stay protected and you want to save also the people, that you're going to be in contact with, because again, it's really, well, let's just say the cases are pretty extreme here in America and also in other countries. So grab yourself a COVID mask to potentially save lives. I mean, I think that's a great deal. We have them at around $8. So if you want to pick one up, they're pretty cheap. Hey, use it on that EDD debit card you got. I'm just joking. But we also have some shirts as well. We got I'm a Model t-shirt, which is for the ladies, I believe an extra small only for the sizes. And we also have a cool Vaporwave t-shirt that I made myself. And we also have a commercial on the Instagram if you want to check that out. So go in the bio below on the, I believe it's the link tree. And if not, another thing that we do also want to mention is we do have a site at whatstheplay.net. So be sure to go on the mailing list and you'll get some pretty cool stuff when you actually sign up. So, all right. So let's sort of get on to the news here if we can. This is our first time here, so I think it would be pretty cool what we got here. So we have some news on, I believe this is Halo. I think they said it was Halo Infinite or Halo. I believe it's Halo Infinite. I keep forgetting. There's been so many games of the Halo franchise, so sometimes even for me, a guy of the news, I sometimes forget. But one of the cool things about this is that, well, it's actually not really cool. Maybe for the developers because they save time. But one of the things about all these games during COVID is that they're being delayed pretty much. So if you don't know what this means, I think for Cyberpunk, for example, Cyberpunk was actually said to be released during this month, but now they've actually retracted that statement, and now it's going to be done probably in December. And that's, again, our best hope because, again, COVID has been stressing out a lot of people, and a lot of these devs for gaming, they have to work at home now instead of in a studio where they spend more hours in. So hopefully, again, these games will be completed very soon. We don't know exactly, but our best estimate is probably in December. For example, I think for Cyberpunk, that's been sort of announced to be in essentially December. So hopefully for the holidays, we'll get that. That'd be pretty cool. Another thing that we want to talk about, if you didn't know, is that the games for particular Xbox exclusives, the cool thing about these games is there will be access for PC players. So if you're a PC gamer yourself and you want to have access to, let's say, Halo or Cyberpunk, I think another game that's coming out is, I don't know why I wanted to say Banjo-Kazooie, but a game that's coming out that's kind of not delayed, but also confirmed for Xbox exclusive is actually Fable. Fable, I believe, was an oldie game back around the early 2000s, and now they have actually confirmed it's exclusive. That is also coming out for PC, which makes sense because when you go on Windows, there is access to the Microsoft Store. So, and also Microsoft owns Windows 10. So I guess you have exclusives for PC and also Xbox, if that makes sense. So that'll be definitely interesting. We'll have to see how that works out. Again, I'm pretty sure this has been sort of previous news as well. I know with the Xbox One games were pretty much on the Windows Store, so it wasn't really an exclusive. I mean, it kind of was, but it was just on Windows and Xbox, if that makes sense. So that was something that I found really interesting. Another thing is that World of Warcraft, and not only video games. Now, if you're a fan of Magic the Gathering, which I am, Magic the Gathering is also being delayed. So if you're not aware, there's Commander Legends, which is coming out pretty soon. that's actually being delayed as well, to, I believe, not this month of October. It's actually coming out in November. So hopefully we'll get some updates on that, and I hope it's not delayed again, because that would just be a tragedy, honestly, because everyone just needs those cards, because again, everyone is just unhappy. We kind of are losing, let's just say we're losing some of our brain matter here. We got to get some really cool energy when it comes to these cards and when it comes to video games, right? Yeah, a lot of stuff has been delayed in general, but I think in terms of the gaming market and also the card games, right? If you play Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, those are being delayed too. So yeah, entertainment in general has been, well, just been sort of disastrous with COVID season. So we're hoping that the delay will be the final one, right? As we spoke about Cyberpunk, Magic the Gathering, and even World of Warcraft Shadowlands has been delayed eventually because of COVID. But also they've been delayed because some of the games can't be, let's just say that companies have this relation with one another, so they don't want a game to intersect with another game, because again, they won't make as much profits, if that makes sense. For example, we talked about World of Warcraft Shadowlands, and that game is apparently sort of entwined with Path of Exile, which is a game that's also coming out pretty soon with, I think, updates, and they want to make sure that it's spaced out so that there's some time for scheduling, if that makes sense. So that was something that I found really interesting when it comes to a lot of these games, is not only are they delaying for COVID, they're delaying because they want to space these games out, which I never knew was an actual thing with companies, because I thought competition was a valid thing and, you know, it'd be okay to release, but it makes sense because they want to make the most profits as possible. So that was something that I was really surprised about. But yeah, games, I guess, are really just trying to space them out, and it makes sense because honestly, we have a low attention span, so it'd be really problematic if we had two games happening at the same time. And in particular, Cyberpunk is a big one that's coming out, and I don't think a lot of games want to be overshadowed by Cyberpunk. So, and also when it comes to Cyberpunk, if you guys didn't know, they apparently got death threats. So if you're not aware, Cyberpunk, which I believe is coming out December 21st, I could be wrong, but I know it's at least 21 more days. That is being delayed, and there's been actually a lot of death threats from agents. So you guys getting a copy. No need to put down
show no respect.
V, my man,
you know,
you made it. You blowing up all over the news. Are you alone?
I just want the money.
It's like, oh, that's simple.
You
like,
got the chip?
Revolutionary for a time. Like, I think Tomb Raider, for example.
All right, start her up, bud. Why don't you go to the bathroom, wash up? We gonna be with you in a minute. Oh, come on, man. Your neck, it's a mess.
So, and hopefully they'll bring back some conflicts that I know they kind of scratched. I know, like, I think you're running those. Hopefully that will be a thing that they're gonna maybe bring back if they have more time. But apparently
initiating combat mode. Go! Destination confirmed.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about! Alright! In and out, bitches! We're rich! Oh, we are going to the major leagues, Jackie! Jack? Oh, shit! No. Okay, get to a clinic, now.
Mr. Wells' condition is critical.
Go!
Immediate medical
It's gonna
help
be okay,
is required.
just hold on. Hey, just think about all the good shit we're gonna have, huh? I'm sorry.
Welcome to our trivia night. So let's get this started. If you don't know, if you want to win a free Steam gift card, if you're the winner, go for it. I honestly think it's a really good deal. It's for free. I mean, you can't lose much from this. So, all right, let's get this started here. So I believe if I press the letter L, this should come up pretty quickly. So, or no, it's P, man. I gotta say these macro keys, sometimes they don't work out as what you think they do. So, all right. So as you can see, we got our little Halloween sort of cool little background here with zombies. So I hope you guys don't mind. Just be sure not to break the windows, because then the zombies will come out and we don't want that. So, All right, let's get into our first little question here, or first question here. What tool? Hey, Steven, look, I know, I got it. It's fine. It's a big badass little show, big show we got here. So I don't know why I keep saying, look, it's just one of that brain, issues here I got. Anyways, we got one tool. What tool do Magic the Gathering players use for life counters? So if you don't know, for Magic the Gathering, usually you have to use something to indicate your life counters, whether it be, I don't know, maybe a foam possibly, or maybe dices or coins, right? And that's just a way so you can get a fair play with your opponent, right? And you just know how to track metrics, if that makes sense. So let's see who. Oh, we got Easy Dubs. Welcome to the stream. We have C. We got one for C, which are coins. But the right answer is actually A and B. So I'm a Magic player myself, and usually we use dices or phones or tablets, whichever you could use to track life counters, because there's a lot of apps right now. But it's a really fun game. I hope Commander Legends comes out. That would be really cool. Because again, I bought a couple of boxes, and hopefully, I get some good stuff from that. So anyways, we got our next question here, which is: you are trapped in a cave with only a torch. What do you do? Do you try to escape by trusting your gut? B, do you follow the animals, because sometimes animals do know their pathways, especially environments? Or C, do you follow the type of rocks? Because believe it or not, with rocks, there are certain layers that you have. So maybe the closer you get, maybe there's more, I don't know, dirt possibly instead of just stone, if that makes sense. See, with that sad face, Easy Dub, don't worry. I'm sure you get the top of the rewards as you had before. So anyways, all right. So let's see what it is. It's going to be A. Maybe it could be A. It's possible. It could be A. All right. Let's see what the answer will be. And in this case, it is B and C, because there are multiple answers to multiple situations. So let's get on to our next question here. And yeah, let's see if this will work when I press spacebar, as macro keys are a thing. So we're on our third one out of 21. Don't worry, we'll get to 15. And this one is: what video game has the setting of a nuclear wasteland and the protagonist of the Wanderer? If you don't know, there is a game that has a nuclear holocaust, because apparently in the future dystopian version of it, there are, I think, like China and America are trying to get oil, and eventually that just leads to a nuclear catastrophe. So is it A, is it Wasteland? Is it B, Fallout? Or is it C, Metro? Be sure to pick your answer as quick as you can. You only got a couple of seconds, and you want to be sure to put that answer in. So this one I do know. I know right off the top of the bat, because I was the one who put the answer in. This one is Fallout. So if you're not aware, Fallout was actually a game made around the 90s for the first one, and that was based off of the whole setting of a nuclear. And technically Wasteland is correct, but it doesn't actually have the part being that it's the Wanderer, which is the main name of the protagonist. So it is Fallout. For the one person who put in Wasteland, you were very close, but unfortunately you were wrong, because there was that specific detail. So let's see if this will work for the macros. Here we go. We're on our fourth one out of 21. So this one is: how many years did it take to make GTA 5? I believe with GTA 4, it took about 7 years, I think, or around that many. So maybe it could be that for the answer. I don't know. But be sure to put in your answers in if you can, as quick as you can. You only got a couple of seconds, so make sure that answer is worth it. Make sure you get the right one. All right, so I'm going to put some Halloween music, if that's all right with you guys, because it is spooky, scary, October. So we got some background zombies, so we got to make it, we got to make it the theme, right? All right, so we got 0 seconds, and yeah, that's time. Let's see what it is. Is it going to be 4 years? Is it going to be 3 years? Is it going to be 7 years? Who knows? I know some games did take around 7 years to make, because they want to make it really good. In fact, Cyberpunk was actually around 7 years. They first released their trailer in 2013, if you did not know that. And yeah, it took around 7 years, which is actually what the board game, I think, of not Fallout, but Cyberpunk 2020 is about. So yeah, it's actually based off of a board game, if you can believe it or not. All right, let's actually get on to our leaderboards here, if I can. I believe I had the button as L. There we go. I just want to make sure so I don't restart this. That would be really bad. All right, so let's see if I can get the leaderboards here. I believe Easy Dub should be first. Yes, he does know a lot when it comes to gaming, so I'm not surprised there. So good job there, Easy Dubs. All right, let's get on to our next question here. So we are on the fifth one out of 21, and this one is: which video game has a mode where you kill zombies and it contains Easter eggs? Is it A, Call of Duty? Is it B, Medal of Honor, or C, Battlefield? These are all great games, by the way, if you haven't got the opportunity for. Battlefield 1 was really great. That was based off World War One. B was Medal of Honor, which is unfortunately a dead game, but back in the day when I played it, it was really well done. It was very simple. You just got a mission selection, and then you started killing some Nazis, so that was pretty cool in my opinion. All right, so yeah, is it A, Call of Duty, B, Medal of Honor, or is it C, Battlefield? Let's see what you guys actually put for the actual answer here. All right, just gonna turn up the volume here for the Halloween music. Should be audible now, but let me know if there's any issues. All right, so what is the play? It's actually Call of Duty. Yeah, it's not Battlefield. Call of Duty has a mode where you're in Nacht. I think Nacht of, I can't remember. Oh, it was Nacht der Untoten, which is German for something that I can't quite remember. I know there's Kino der Untoten, which is Theater of the Damned. So there was a couple of maps that were based around Germany and all sorts, and it was really fun. And then there were a couple of Easter eggs depending on which map you're in. Shangri-La was a map based in the jungles of some area. And yeah, there was some Easter eggs on that, which were really, really quite well done, in my opinion. So, all right, let's get on to our next answer here. All right, we're on our 6th one. We got around 9 questions left. This one is, what video game has the famous map of Green Hill Zone? Is it A, Donkey Kong? Is it B, Super Mario? Or is it C, Sonic the Hedgehog? Be sure to put your answer in as quick as you can. We only got a couple seconds left, and then once there's a delay with that in effect, it's going to be really, really short for the time. So be careful on that. I just want to let you know. If you're coming from, I think we got a couple. We have, we got YouTube we're streaming on, and we got a couple other platforms. So if you're from there, DLive as well. Come on twitch.tv/what's-the-play-games and be sure to just come in and interact, because again, we have a show here and we want to, we want to interact with you guys. We want to chat it up, if that makes sense. So, all right, so we got one for Super Mario, and we haven't had one for the actual answer, which is Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, it first came out on Sonic the Hedgehog. You would think it come out on Super Mario, but yeah, the Green Hill Zone was actually from Sonic. So, all right, let's actually get on to our next question here. I believe we're on our 7th. Yes, 7th out of 21. We just have extra questions just in case if you guys really want to hang out. But anyways, Cyberpunk was originally going to be released in November of 2020. What is the current release as of now? Is it A, December 2020? Is it B, October 2020? Or January 2021? Yeah, I hope the release of this doesn't actually extend to January 1st. I know that it's going to be released in December, hopefully. But again, like, they're doing their quality assurance, so I don't know. It could be possible they might extend it because they find a lot of problems, because I think they're working with 7 to 9 versions of the game, so yeah, that might take a little bit longer than expected. But anyways, I think we got one answer in. We got 2 answers in. We got one for October 2020 and another answer for January 2021. So I hope, yeah, you guys actually were both wrong. It's December 2020. They actually extended it from October to 2020. So in total, there was 2 delays. And we even talked about this on our news show. Damn. But yeah, it's December 2020. Hopefully by then, everything will be fixed for the problems. Yeah, remember quality assurance when that was a thing? Anyways, you try to buy a video game on Steam, except you don't have enough money. What do? Do you A, wait till you have a budget and can buy something? Do you B, go to sketchy websites, which maybe they take your information and credit cards maybe? Or C, you find an alternative site, maybe Humble Bundle. So that's another thing I should have discussed on the news show. But Steam is actually having a sale right now for October Halloween, and Humble Bundle had a sale as well. They're currently still doing it, but they were previously more active than Steam. They were on that track really quick, which was really cool. So I know a lot of Halloween games like Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 2 as well. Those games are on sale for about $20 to $30, I think. But anyways, let's see what the answer is. And yeah, it is find an alternative title, maybe Humble Bundle, because again, we got to support competition. If you want to make these games, maybe even cheaper possibly, because we are getting reports that maybe it'll be $70 for video games instead of $60. So yeah, I don't want that happening. So let's make sure we stop that, because that would be horrible alongside microtransactions. All right, let's get on to our next one. We are on 11th, I believe, as far as I remember. If I can get the macro keys to work. All right, so we're on 9 out of 21. And this one should be, RPG games have been popular in recent years. What is the first RPG game, though, in like history of games, though? Is it A, Wasteland, B, Dragon Stomper, or C, Fallout 1. This one may be a little tricky. But yeah, be sure to put in your answers as quick as you can. You got 10 seconds on the clock, maybe even shorter if you're on that little delay button. So yeah, let's see what it is. I can definitely tell you off the bat, this is not an answer you would expect. It's a little hard. But I think it could stand out because you're not familiar with this title, which is called Dragon Stomper. That is the first RPG game that came out, according to my research. So yeah, if you didn't know, Dragon Stomper was like an RPG game, kind of like Final Fantasy in a way, sorta, kinda. So that was really cool. And yeah, it wasn't Wasteland. Wasteland was one of the most popular RPGs at the time that was released, probably the earliest. That was really well done, and they even released a second one, and I believe a third one, which I think the third one just came out. So either it was Wasteland or a different sort of name. That was kind of similar to what Wasteland is. But anyways, all right, so it is B, and let's get on to our next question, which is the 10th one. Oh, 10th one. I thought we were on the 11th one. Anyways, the original developers of Fallout games plan to make a third game. What is the name of this lost game? So previously, there was a company before Bethesda. This company had, they actually made a third game. They were about 90% complete. The only reason they couldn't really release it was because apparently they didn't have the IP anymore. So that's something interesting that I'm really surprised about, was they were pretty much complete. They even released a demo. So we kind of know from that it was pretty close to done. And it's sad because when you look at the interviews with, I think, Sawyer, who was the original developer for the game, you can see that like he has the passion in there, and he like said it was like nearly complete. So yeah, maybe hopefully we can get maybe a leak of that game maybe in the future. Who knows? All right, so it is Van Buren. The name is Van Buren. Yeah, it was the third game potentially instead of the Fallout 3 we have today, if you didn't know. So yeah, if only. All right, let's get on to our next question here. We are on the 11th one, and this one is System Shock 2 was created by Ken Levine. System Shock 2 was so great, by the way. What other game has this well-known developer made? He has made probably one of arguably the best RPG games / fantasy, probably in general. So we have either A, Pokemon, B, Prey, or C, BioShock Infinite. So let's see what it can be. And it looks like we got a zombie here. Hopefully, it's a good thing I got my repellent here. Oh man. All right, so let's see what the answer will be. We got a couple of seconds left, and now we are done with the time. And it looks like the zombie went away. Turns out my repellent does work after all. All right, so what is the play? And I know this one. I don't know about you guys, but it is BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite was a great game. I just feel it was a little, let's just say it was a little more creatively different than typically what the previous versions were. BioShock 1 and 2 were a little different. I know there wasn't really much cutscenes. This one really made it very evident that there was going to be cutscenes, which I understand, but it didn't feel kind of like a typical not Cyberpunk, but a typical BioShock game, which was kind of the sad thing about it. But it was fun nonetheless. I will say. So we're on the 12th one, and this one is what game studio originally created Tomb Raider. So if you don't know, sometimes games are sold to a different company for them to make. This happens a lot more often than you think. It's not like one game developer and they're like for the lifetime of the game, they're there. Sometimes, they go bankrupt. Sometimes they have to sell it because I don't know, they're on loans, right? So, yeah, is it A, Kojima Productions? Is it B, Core Design? Or is it C, Rockstar Studios? If you're a gamer, I think you know this one right off the top of your head through elimination process. But, all right, we got a couple seconds left. We got 0, actually. So, yeah, let's see what it is. I personally do know this. This is Core Design. Tomb Raider was pretty decent for its time, and then they sort of turned it into a really weird game where it was more or less not on puzzles, but more or less an action shooter. So that was something that was really interesting. But yeah, it is Core Design, and yeah, let's sort of get onto it. Yeah, it was where I don't know. There's a lot of memes on the older versions of the games because the pixelation was just awful, but I don't want to get into it. All right, what is the first ever TCG card game? If you don't know, TCG card games, they're just those, well, card games, right? They're not like the typical, old school card games like poker and blackjack, but these are games that now, not historically, but they're just games now that are a lot more creative in the process, if that makes sense. So, is it A, Pokemon, B, Magic the Gathering, or is it C, Digimon? Oh, man, I always put these answers. I don't know why. Man, I always put Pokemon or either Digimon. I got to be more creative with my answers here. But Alrighty, we are out of time. Is it A, Pokemon, B, Magic the Gathering, or is it C, Digimon? I think you might know this one, considering that I talk about this game a lot, but maybe not. This one is Magic the Gathering. We have one person put in for Digimon. That's a good try, but it is Magic the Gathering, which is probably one of the most active card games to this day. It used to be Pokemon when Pokemon First Gen was popular. Now it's primarily Magic the Gathering. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh, but I know Magic the Gathering has more of a spotlight in the TCG market and also in popularity, especially because MTG Arena was released. And a lot of social media promotion is another thing, so... All right, we are close. We are on the 14th question. We are on the last one, and this is Counter-Strike Global Offense, which is arguably one of my favorite games. Is perhaps one of the most popular FPS games. How many snipers are there? There's actually, this might surprise you. I was kind of confused at first, but is it A, 3? Is it B, 4? Or is it C, 5? And someone might actually get this right, as I saw. All right, so let's see what it is. And we got a couple seconds left. Coming from D Live or coming from any other platform. Be sure to check us out on twitch.tv/whatsthePlayGames. We're live every Thursday, and we'll have some more podcasts coming on, so be sure to check that out. Bad for America, and we have an undecided podcast from Steven. So, all right, it is 4. Yeah, so you have the auto snipers, and you have the op and the SSG, and yeah, I was surprised. It's 4. I thought originally it was 3, but it turns out, yeah, it's actually 4. I guess there's one sniper that a lot of people don't really know that's there, but you can replace it with the current one that's in your queue. So yeah, I didn't know about that, but anyways, let's get on to our next question. This is the last one. This is the last question. Let's see if let's see if the quiz thing will allow me to press spacebar. Okay, there we go. We're on the last question, 15 out of 21, just in case we have some questions for if you guys want to hang out or anything. But this one is A, or well, I shouldn't get ahead of myself, but how can you support What's the Play Games? Is it A, go in our link tree, which you can do if you go to the bio, so I'd highly recommend doing that. You'll get to Twitter, Instagram, and stuff to check us out. Or is it B, subscribe using your Amazon Prime through Tier 1? You could always do that if you want. It's a great way to support your content creators, especially in COVID times. So if you can do that, I'd highly appreciate it. Or check out our merch. We got some great Vaporwave t-shirts, COVID masks, which you're going to need because this virus is going on for 2 years at least, okay? It's going to be the Spanish flu. Anyways, is it that? Or is it C, chat with us? Chatting with us is always fun. It always creates sort of just a connection with you and I. So if you want to do that, that'd be greatly appreciated as well because, again, we got to get activity going. We got to have a really healthy community. And you can do that through joining the Discord. So if you can do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. But I think that's it for the game show. All right. So thanks, guys, for coming out. We really appreciate it. And yeah, man, we had some interesting stuff happening today. We had our little overlay. Oh, I guess that's not working. But we had our little overlay of our camera, stuff like that. And yeah, it looks like we had some interesting stuff happening today. So I hope you guys have a great day, especially in these times. And we'll see you guys later. And we'll end with our little commercial that we built. If you didn't know, we have a commercial for the t-shirts. So check that out if you can.